through his word. And I believe that God is speaking. I believe, beloved of God, that we are in a season of lowliness. We're in a season where all of us are experiencing the valley. Sometimes the Bible calls it the valley of despair. The valley of despair can be a lowly place. Sometimes because it is a lowly place, it becomes a lonely place. It is a place where you feel down. And some of us tonight that are connected, we not only feel down, but some of us feel down and out. These are downward times in which we're living. As I travel abroad and as I talk to people all over the country, these are downward times. These are downward days. And the Lord spoke to my spirit, and as I was really just wondering what we was going to share with you tonight, and I want to talk about tonight when things are not looking up, when things seem not to be looking up, and the reality is that things are not really looking up. When we look at it politically, things are not looking up. Republicans are against the Democrats, and Democrats against the Republicans, and nobody can find common ground. No one can find a sense of medium. Nobody can come to any kind of agreement, so the fight continues politically. These are down times. What can I say? Things are not looking up economically. Families are still suffering, especially those that are in the inner city, continue to struggle financially because of loss of jobs, not enough jobs, where people don't qualify for certain kinds of jobs, and if you do get one, you're being paid below wages, and therefore it's a challenge to make ends meet. That's where we are. We just need to be real about it, and that's the reality of it. These are downward times. More people are getting divorced now than being united in marriage. These are downward times, even relationally. Families are falling out. Brothers and sisters can't get along. There's division all around us. And then during this pandemic, beloved of God, it has caused our churches to struggle. The churches are struggling. We just have to be real about it. It's been a struggle during these 400 and something plus days of this pandemic. We have struggled as a church. We have struggled as the body of Christ. Now we try to keep everything going, but the reality is that we're struggling. We've never seen times like we see them now. We are in downward times. And it seems like things are not looking up. Every time I turn on the news, homicides are constantly on the rise. I mean, hideous murders, senseless murders all around the world. And right here in Houston, Texas, in Harris County, I've never seen anything like this before. We have to be real about it. These are downward times. I know that the mayor is doing all he can. I know that city officials are doing all that they can. Thank God for the Houston Police Department and all those supporting departments that share in protecting us. But let me tell you, things are real crazy right now, and things have gotten totally out of hand when things are not looking up. As a pastor, I often wonder, and I'm deeply concerned because even me sometimes feel like things are not looking up, even though we're making progress, even though 10,000 people have viewed us. I thank God for that all over the world. Never would I have imagined that we could have reached over 10,000 people. I mean, that's incredible. But yet, the reality is, things are not really looking up the way we would like for them to. So the question comes to mind: what do you do when things are not looking up? What do you do when things are not looking up? I want to give you time to turn with me to Psalms 121. Psalm 121. I want to give a shout out while you're turning there to my son, Brother Robert. I say happy birthday, Sister Florence. Happy birthday to you and my aunt Early Nelson. Happy birthday to you as well. God bless and keep you all. But I want y'all to turn to Psalms 121. Psalms 121. If you return there with us tonight. When things are not looking up, when things are not looking up, what do you do? Well, just let me give you some historical background on this particular passage that I want to share with you on tonight. The nation of Israel is in a downward state. They're down and out. They've been down for some time. They're down. Things have not gone well, and things have not been looking up for them. They have seen many die by their side. They've experienced death, multiple deaths. I'm talking about millions of people have died in Israel. Doesn't look like things are looking up. They've lost loved ones. They've lost close friends. And they're just really in a hopeless state. And it almost seems as if they are defeated. And yet, now they find themselves on a pilgrimage where they're moving from one place to another. But there is a destination that is in mind, that on this pilgrimage, they are headed somewhere. They're headed somewhere. This is a pilgrimage song that the psalmist writes. But not only is it a pilgrimage song, it is also believed to be a song of ascent. And that word accent comes from the word ascend. It means that you're in a lowly place, but you are on a pilgrimage going upward. I want you to hear me today. And symbolically, I believe with all of our heart, as we look at Israel and we see ourselves as the church, the extension of Israel, God's special people, I believe that today we are on a pilgrimage. We are on a journey, if you will, symbolically, and our destination is upward. We're headed upward. I want y'all to imagine this for a minute, that we're headed upward, but things are not looking up. wow, I'm headed upward, but things are not looking up. This was Israel's song, this song of ascent. But we have a song in our church that we sing even today that I consider a song of ascent. The song we sing, going up yonder. I'm going up yonder to be with the Lord. I'm going up yonder. It is a song of ascent because all of our hopes and dreams rest in the fact of going up yonder, wherever that is, to be with the Lord. It is a song of ascent. I don't know if you like the song because of the beat, because, you know, of the rhythm of the song, but if you ever really grasp the words of the song and find out the meaning of the song, what are we saying when we say we're going up yonder? That we're down, but we say we're going up. Our dreams have been shattered, but yet we say we're going up yonder. Our hopes are not really clear, but we say we're going up yonder. It's a song of ascent, if you will. But the point of the matter is that we are on a pilgrimage. We know that we're headed somewhere. There's something that the Lord unveiled to me as I was examining this text tonight, and what was unveiled to me is something that I believe that a lot of us miss on the journey, on the pilgrimage, and what we miss is God's presence. God's presence while we're in the valley. God's presence while we're in the valley. Many of us are waiting to experience His presence when we get there. When we get over there, you know, beyond the sky. But God is just as present in the journey as in the destination. God help us tonight. He is just as present in the journey as the destination. And oftentimes when you are in the valley, beloved of God, it's easy to lose sight over the fact that God is just as present in the journey. And that's why many of us are in despair. That's why many of us have become dismayed. That's why many of us have become discouraged. That's why many of us have become frustrated, because we lose sight of the fact that God is just as present in the journey as He is in the destination. I believe this with all of my heart, that the psalmist, when he penned the song, he had this in mind, and that he saw in the eyes of the people, he saw in the hearts of the people that they had forgotten that God is just as present in the journey. Can I just give you that spiritual injection right now, and just tell you tonight, beloved of God, Connection family, to receive that God is present. He's present in the journey. On our way up yonder, God is present in the journey. He's present. I needed that tonight. I needed that for me, because let me tell you, I've been through hell and high water, and I'm still going through it, and even sometimes I get a little frustrated and I get a little discouraged. I needed that He is present. He really is present in the journey, even though I'm in this lowly place. And sometimes I feel lonely. Sometimes, Lord, have mercy, I could be in a room with 100 people, but I still feel lonely, because the place is a lowly place. And so tonight I looked at this text and I say, Lord, help us to see what we need to see as we are on this journey, and we say we are on our way yonder. The psalmist, the first thing that he lifts out of the text of us tonight, he says, I will lift up mine eyes. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. He says that. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. Think about this. They're on this pilgrimage journey. They're in the valley. And the psalmist says, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. Thought about this because the first thing that comes to mind when you hear that, it would seem as if the psalmist is looking at something. And out of all my years of preaching and teaching, it kind of looked that way. That the psalmist says that I lift up mine eyes. You must lift up your eyes because there is something that you need to look at. But when I dug deeper into the text, the psalmist, y'all, is not really talking about looking at something. And I will lift this first principle up. The psalmist is talking about the look of longing for God's presence. It is the look of longing. It is the look of longing. The psalmist wants us to understand that he is longing. He is longing, that Israel is longing for the presence of God. They're longing. They are on their way to Jerusalem. Jerusalem sits on a hill, Mount Zion. And there sits the temple. And everyone knows historically in Israel that God, Yahweh, this Yahweh God dwells on top of the hill there in Zion. That's where it is. And Zion is symbolic to the church. It is the future church, the extension of Israel, but it is, watch this, it is the dwelling place of the Most High God. Oh God, it is the dwelling place. And they are on their way in this pilgrimage journey to get up to Jerusalem, to get on top of the hill, which is Zion, so they could be in the presence of God. And so when the psalmist says, I will lift mine eyes, he's not talking about particularly looking at something, but it is a look of longing because his heart longs for God's presence. Oh God, it longs for God's presence. And that's why you need to understand that God is just as present in the journey as he is in the destination. Oh God, in the destination, God is just as present. There's a longing. There's a look of longing here that I see in the text, y'all. And notice here, he says, from whence cometh my help? From whence cometh my help? And then he answers his own question there in verse number 2. My help cometh from the Lord which made heaven and earth. The Lord, Yahweh, my help, Yahweh. It comes from Yahweh which made heaven and earth. Yahweh as the creator of heaven and earth. The psalmist says that's where help comes from. Help comes from. Help. that word help in Hebrew is ezer. It means help or helper. My help, my helper, my ezer. My ezer comes from Yahweh. Your help tonight, your help, my help, comes from ezer. We're in a time, we're downward, we are in a lowly state. We need help. Let's just be real about it tonight. We need help. Everybody is in need of help. Families are in need of help. If you're single, you are in need of help. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what status you are. It doesn't matter your level of education. Everybody is in need of ezer. We need ezer. We need ezer. The psalmist understood that they were in need of ezer. We are in need of help. Can you just go and openly confess that tonight, that I'm in need of help? I need help. I need help. Help is what I need. I need help. I am struggling. I need help, and I'm frustrated, and I need help. And the psalmist says that my ezer, my help comes from Yahweh. Yeah, and he reminds us that Yahweh is the one who made heaven and earth. Yahweh is your creator, baby. And if you can get some ezer, it's best to come from the creator who made all things. And if he made all things, then he can help us in everything. I just said something right there. If he made all things, he can help us in everything. You see, when he's your ezer, that means that he qualifies to be your helper. You don't have to interview God or not. You don't have to ask him questions. You don't have to ask him if he got enough resources, if he got this or that, if you're gonna run out of food, if you're gonna run out of what. No, he's your ezer. He is your helper, and your help, your ezer, comes from Yahweh, who so happened to be your creator. Then he moves to the second thing that he wants to share in this passage, and that is, there is the question of weakness. Verse number 3, he will not suffer thy foot to be moved. That there's the question of weakness. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. Some of us, we've been slipping in the valley. Some of us can't get our footing quite in this valley that we are in. When things are not looking up, we've been trying for months, and don't seem like I can get ahead. I've tried to do everything I could, but it seems like every time I get a little bit ahead, there is something that comes and set me back. Do you hear me? He will not suffer thy foot to be moved, but it seems like I keep slipping. When I get a step ahead, I'm 2 steps backward, and I just can't get ahead because the valley I'm in is slippery. It's slippery. It's not secure down here in the valley in which I'm in. It's just not. It's not secure. But so it exposes my weakness. So it's the question of weakness. But what the psalmist has to remind us of is that when we are weak, thou art strong. What psalmists want us to understand is that when we have a question of a weakness, we cannot experience his strength until we are in a weakened state. So don't trip about being weak. Don't trip about slipping. Don't trip about falling. Don't trip about that. It's okay, because God's strength, God's power becomes when you're weak, it becomes your strength and your power. But know what it says: He that keepeth thee, he that keepeth thee. Well, there's another word I want to look at, because not only is he my easer, my helper, but the text is tailored to teach us that he is my samar. He is my samar, S-A-M-A-R. He is my samar. He is my keeper, and he keeps me. Lord have mercy. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall not slumber nor sleep. So he is my samar. He is my easer, but he's my samar. He is my keeper. The Yahweh God, which made heaven and earth, he's your preserver. He is the one that is preserving you. He is the one keeping you through everything that you will ever encounter and have encountered. He is your samar. Yahweh is my samar. That's what he wants to get over to us tonight. It tells us something about Yahweh. Not only is he our samar, but we learn something else. It says that Yahweh doesn't slumber. That word in the Hebrew, slumber, comes from the Hebrew word num, N-U-M, num. Sleep in the Hebrew comes from the word yasin in the Hebrew. And what that means, when you put that together, it means that we can depend on Yahweh to be available to us 24/7. This Yahweh does not slumber. He is not numb. I want to speak this word into your life tonight. Yahweh, who does not numb, who does not slumber, he is not numb to what you're going through. He's not numb to your pain. He is not numb to your struggle. He is not numb to your sickness. He's not numb to your challenges. Yahweh is not numb. He doesn't slumber, for he is sensitive to what you're going through. He's sensitive to your needs. He's understanding, and he wants to be an easer. He wants to help you in your struggle. He's not numb to that. And the good news is, he does not sleep. He does not sin. He does not sin, because he is Yahweh, the creator, who he doesn't have to sleep. Yahweh, the creator, doesn't require sleep. That's why he can be there for you and I 24/7. I'm just talking about on your way up yonder, on your way on this pilgrimage, however long it takes to get there. He does not slumber, nor does he sleep. The Lord is thy keeper, verse 5. The Lord is thy shade. That word shade in the Hebrew is sel, S-E-L, sel. It is a welcoming shade from the noonday sun. What he's saying, the Lord is thy sel. He is thy shade, if you will, and it is a welcoming shade from the noonday sun. That's what he is. But watch this. He said, he is thy shade upon thy right hand. Thank God for the right hand. Now, that moves us to the third thing that I want to tell you is the assurance of faith. The first one was, watch this, the first one was the look of longing. The second was the question of weakness. The third one is the assurance of faith. Here's where the assurance of faith kicks in. Thy right hand. That right hand is being interpreted in the Hebrew yamin. 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 It is the dominant hand of God. It is talking about the strong hand of Yahweh. It symbolizes, watch this, the right hand of Yahweh symbolizes power and authority. This freed me. This freed me when that word blessed me, because I needed to know that Yahweh had power and authority. Some folk think they got power, and some folk think they are in authority. But the reality is that he has thy right hand. And because he has thy right hand, he is very much in power. He is very much in authority. And that's where your hope and your faith and the assurance of your faith has to lie. It lies in the fact that he's got a right hand. He has a yamin. He has the dominant hand. He has the strong hand. He is in power and he is in authority. Regardless of who say they are in charge, he has all power. He has all authority because he is Yahweh. And every now and then on the pilgrimage, all of us have to be reminded that God has all power and that he is in authority. You ain't in charge of nothing. You're not the creator. You are his creation. Why are you trying to control something? Hear me tonight. You need to submit to the higher authority and the power of God, because all creation is in need of either. We need help and we need our helper. Now, you may need help in another way than me, but the fact of the matter is all of us need our either. We need our either. We need our either. So, therefore, the sun, y'all, shall not smite thee by day. Naka, smite thee. Naka, in the Hebrew, to strike a blow. The sun shall not smite thee. It shall not strike a blow to you by day, dog, the moon, by night. Why? Because the Lord shall preserve. He's going to preserve you from all evil, because he is your Samar. He is going to preserve you. He's going to preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve, watch this, you're going out and you're coming in. Oh, Lord, on your way home, on your way upward, as we are moving up yonder, for this time forth and even forevermore, the Lord himself shall preserve you. Not your husband, not your wife, but the Lord shall. I wish I had a witness. Not your job, not your employer, not your manager, not your supervisor, but the Lord shall. Lord have mercy, shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in while you are on your journey. God is just as present in the journey as in the destination. One day, we'll get home. We'll get home someday. I'm going up yonder to be with the Lord. We'll get there one day. We'll get there one day. But on your way home, God's present in the journey, just like he's going to be present in your destination. So the question is, when things are not looking up, what do we do? I'm glad you asked. You look up. When things are not looking up, the psalmist is saying, look up. When things are not looking up, just look up. God bless you and may He keep you is our prayer.